Okay, so this is just a test video. This car that I've got at the moment is a mk6 Golf. I've done quite a lot of modifications: 2 intercoolers, turbo GT40, APR stage 3 kit, power flow exhaust, CTS intake manifold. It's just been lowered. You know, it's been done on a bit of a budget, and the latest thing that I've just put on it is a wave track differential. Now, I really didn't believe the hype about this differential, that it was that fantastic, and you know, I didn't really think it was going to be worth the money. But after I made all the modifications and got this car up to about 410 brake horsepower, which was courtesy of Regal, I then found out that I could not get the power down. And I mean, it's extremely wet at the moment. It's just stopped raining. It's very slippery around here because of all the trees. I'm in third gear now, just cruising at 40, stick my foot down, and I can still let it grate free. But that's foot to the floor, and you can see me hitting the rev limiter. She revs up, the traction control cuts in, and she grips again. If I was to do that without the wave track, this would just sit on the spot spinning one wheel out on one side. So in that theory, alright, that's me just being fucking stupid, but in that theory it's 1,000 times better. But what you're not prepared for is the way that the car handles. Now, I've only just lowered it with E-spec springs, and I've left the standard comfort pack on here. But with the wave track involved, the steering, just, you've got so much more feel of the road through it. I mean, they're not vague by any standard, but with the wave track, it just gives you so much more confidence in the wheel and what you're feeling through the wheel, the response to the road. I mean, it's a little bit harder suspension than what it used to have, but getting the wave track involved, it just transforms the car. You put it into a corner, and you all of a sudden you've got, because it's a little bit, makes the steering that little bit stiffer, you've just got that little bit more confidence, and it's controllable power. It just makes so much more difference to it. I mean, this car was unmanageable in the wet, totally unmanageable in the wet. It has transformed what is really quite a powerful car into a ballistic missile. Well, I mean, shouldn't really drive it in the wet like this, but I've got absolute confidence of where it's going, because it doesn't veer the car off left, right and centre. I've never known anything like it. I mean, going back to when I was young, so I'm not a young man by any chance. Okay, you probably think to yourself, well, why you got a young man's car? Well, this car ticks all the boxes. In the past I've had XR3Is, Audis, BMWs, and every single car I've had has had a limited slip diff. Now, the GTI, which this is, it doesn't really have that scope of a limited slip diff. I mean, all the cars in the past I have added that sort of equipment to. I mean, the BMW had a limited slip diff because it was a 2.5i. I mean, even the Audi that I had a limited slip diff on it, because that was a front wheel drive 2 litre E. Well, sorry, lovely bit of road. Right, but as you can see, it's very wet out, and you put it into a corner, she just grips. I mean, she doesn't snag the wheel out of your hands. As before, you'd have one wheel spin up and it was uncontrollable power. I mean, this is very slippery out here. I mean, I was running on Dunlop tyres. I wouldn't dare drive this like it without that diff on it now. I've only had the diff on here for about a week. I'm still getting used to it. I mean, I still haven't got a chance to try it out in the dry yet, which is really ironic. It's rained every single day, so I think I'm going to expect absolutely fantastic things out of it when I get it in the dry. But you know, it's going to be the wrong time of year now. I'm just going to give this a real bootful down this bit of motorway here. I'm going to control the throttle a bit because she still does break free a bit. And like you see, it doesn't hang about. I mean, it gets to 100 in no time at all. Well, that's about the diff. So that is just a test bit of film. I know it's dark, I know it's night time, but at the end of the day, if I want to try and show you this, I think all you want to see is the rev counters and turbo and this, that and the other. I don't know how clearly you can hear me. Obviously you're going to have a look at this video and get back. This is just a short test video for what I'm hopefully going to start doing more content about this car, about modifying the Mark 6, and then obviously chasing this car with different types of drones and bits and pieces to show content on DJI drones and everything goes basically, and see how we go from there. Basically, this car would not do that in the wet at all. I mean, I really did start laying the power in. I mean, I was short shifting it, but I couldn't do this at all. It took me 1 week to decide that I had to have this differential put on the car because it was just undrivable. There was no way that I could boost this power up any more on this car, because it just, even in the dry, you end up with everything hopping all over the place, and she was just such a handful. I mean, it would grab the wheel out your hand completely. So yeah, Wave Track, far better than the Quaff. And the one thing about the Wave Track, which I found out, and which was the absolute and utter seller for having it, they come with a lifetime guarantee. I don't know anyone who will actually bring out something like that. The guarantee is transferable with the car. So on that, how could I refuse something that's got a lifetime guarantee on the differential? Everyone votes them as being unbreakable. But anyway, hope to talk again soon. Cheers.